When a couple is faced with divorce, how do they deal with the house? Real estate expert Rick Sadle with Keller Williams Realty and SadleRealEstate.com is with us. Hello there, Rick.
Hey, good morning.
All right, this is a topic we have to broach here. So there are some online services, it appears, tools, things like Hello Divorce, Home Split, and others that try to help people out or couples with their home during a divorce. So as an agent, what are some of the questions you're asked here?
Well, they do say people often sell for what we call the 3 Ds in real estate, right? That's death, divorce, and debt. And besides first-time home buyers or maybe people moving up to a bigger house, divorce does seem to be number one. So we get asked a lot to help people in divorce situations. And oftentimes, if it's amicable, we're just asked to help them get the most money, right? They want to know what the house is worth and how the money gets distributed. But when it's not so friendly, we get asked what the house is worth, but that's so a judge can decide who gets what. We also get asked, how can one party sell if the other doesn't want to? We get lots of questions about that we shouldn't answer because we're not attorneys. Like, how can one party try and keep all the money? It can get pretty uncomfortable.
I bet. I know that you're sometimes a psychologist, a counselor when you're an agent dealing with people, as well as selling houses and helping them buy them, but probably not a one size fits all solution here, I'm guessing.
Definitely not, right? There are lots of different outcomes. A lot depends on how much equity is in the property, who's on the loan, when they brought the property, what are the tax implications of selling, and whether or not, especially this, whether or not the parties are actually talking to each other. There's all kinds of factors that make the whole situation that can end in all kinds of different ways.
What if one party in a divorce wants to stay in the house and the other doesn't? How does that work?
Well, I mean, this is the other D word, right? It depends. A lot depends. Oftentimes, one party can quote unquote buy out the other's equity, but that brings its own set of complications, right? Are they both on the loan? Does one party have enough cash to buy out the other? Maybe the party who wants to stay in the home, maybe they make enough money to get their own loan. And if that's the case, sometimes they can do what we call a cash out refi. They can refi it into their own name and then pay the other one the cash. But oftentimes there's just no way to pull it off, and they're forced to sell even if they don't want to. They're forced to move out.
More often than not, would you say one party tends to be the lead when it comes to this? And if they do want to sell the house, that you're generally dealing with one person?
That can oftentimes be the case in a traditional non-divorce sale, but really the biggest difference in a divorce sale is we usually have to communicate with each party equally, right? There usually isn't one point person. Usually, even when it's amicable, both parties want to be part of every conversation so that they can protect their interests.
Yeah, it's a subject we don't like to talk about, but it happens. And sometimes you have to deal with it. That's well said. Rick, thank you again for your perspective.
Yeah, thanks.
That is Rick Sadle, real estate expert with Keller Williams Realty and SadleRealEstate.com.